Metro Manila, the megacity of footbridges.
Kahit saan ka pumunta, basta maraming sasakyan, may footbridge na malapit. May 138 footbridges dito sa Metro Manila na itinayo ng MMDA at ng mga lokal na pamahalaan. Sa nakaraang 6 na taon, 231.3 million pesos ang nagastos ng gobyerno sa pag-construct ng mga footbridge sa Metro Manila. Ang press release, para raw ito sa kapakanan ng mga naglalakad at nagko-commute. Para raw mas safe sila, sabi mismo ni President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.
Pero totoo bang para sa pedestrian ang footbridge?
They say that footbridges are there to protect the pedestrians, but that's actually the opposite case. So what happens is that when people see footbridges, mas lalo silang hindi napapalakad kasi sobrang taas niya at sobrang hirap niya lakarin. Kung tutuusin nga, magiging tolerable sana yung mga footbridges natin kung meron tayo mga elevators, ramps, escalators. But then the thing is, we don't have those. So, since sila mismo, right, pag nakita pa lang nila kagad yung footbridge, hindi na sila encouraged to walk, it actually, doesn't promote what they are saying.
How do footbridges affect naman yung behavior ng mga drivers, mga vehicle drivers, and speeds ng mga drivers?
Yeah. So what happens is that, of course, you remove pedestrian access here at the road. What happens is that it promotes faster driving for car users. So as you can see here, right, there are lots of cars who are, driving very fast. Since yung alam na rin kasi nila na norm is for the pedestrians to use the footbridges. So since wala tayong at-grade crossings, their tendency is, to drive more, to drive fast.
Sa Nairobi, halos kalahati raw ng vehicle crashes involving pedestrians ay nangyari within 500 meters of a footbridge. Ang masama pa, marami sa mga footbridge ay hindi nakadesenyo ayon sa mga pangangailangan ng pinaka-vulnerable pedestrians, ang mga matatanda, persons with disabilities, ang mga may sakit, at mga bata.
I think yung pinaka-difficult part of it is I'm always going to the office with my mom, and my mom has clinical obesity. We always have to find a route na hindi namin kailangan umakyat ng footbridge. And I think that's the most difficult part, seeing the people you love, your family members and your friends are challenged to use footbridges.
Sinukat ng mga researcher galing UP ang mga footbridges sa Commonwealth Avenue, Quezon City. Ang findings nila, masyadong matarik ang hagdanan at hindi tama ang height ng mga handrails. At paano na ang gumagamit ng wheelchair kung walang elevator o ramp?
In other words, a majority of our footbridges are not accessible to vulnerable pedestrians. So, anong rekomendasyon ng mga transport experts?
First is, again, at-grade crossings with traffic signals. It is a very efficient and direct way to actually cross the road. So instead of, spending on projects which are, over budget, they could make more at-grade crossings and just implement traffic signals. It's very simple and easy. It's an easy way to solve and not having to use a footbridge.
Mas mura pa nga ang at-grade crossing kaysa sa footbridge. Ayon sa ITDP, at-grade crossings can be almost 50% cheaper than building a footbridge. Para maging ligtas ang isang at-grade crossing, dapat daw may mga stoplight, may sapat na lighting, at walang nakapark malapit. Bonus pa kung may mga curb extension o may harang malapit sa mga crosswalk para kitang-kita ng mga driver ito. May collective term para rito, daylighting. It's the simple act of making crosswalks highly visible to vehicles. Sa New York City, may pinasang batas na nagsasabing mag-daylight ng 100 crosswalks ang syudad kada taon simula 2025. Gumana ang mga ganitong inisyatibo sa San Francisco, Washington DC, at Warsaw na nakakita ng 55% drop in pedestrian deaths in 10 years. But you know what these cities don't have much of? Footbridges. Instead, nag-invest sila sa mga pedestrian-centric policies at hindi lang ito pampapogi points sa mga naglalakad. Studies show that promoting pedestrian-first policies reduces carbon emissions, and encourages public transportation. So, pag pinaganda ang mga crosswalk at mga sidewalk, mas maiengganyo rin ang mga taong gumagamit ng tren o ng bus.
Ngayong taon, binubuo na ng Marcos administration ang isang active transport policy para sa buong bansa. Ano ang magiging papel ng mga footbridge sa planong ito? Magiging totoo na ba ang sinabi ni President Marcos sa kanyang Philippine Development Plan na pedestrians and cyclists will be accorded the highest priority in the hierarchy of road users? Sundan natin ang mga developments dito.
Kung commuter o pedestrian ka, pwede natin pag-usapan ito sa Livable Cities chatroom sa Rappler Communities app.